Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, you two? Anybody know video? I'm doing that for y'all. Okay, I probably part two about the Hurricane Katrina. Happened around '05 to where this horrible event that happened back then to where this hurricane affected New Orleans and Cadville. Talk about on basically on I say on how I know about the background. I probably say probably say when I was probably in school at the time. I was in I think probably my seventh grade, junior high school, to where I had about the whole unfortunate event that happened, man. To where so here we go, man. Okay, okay, back around August 2005, you heard about this type of event that happened, to where the Hurricane Katrina had affected New Orleans. I probably I was 13 years old at the time. Oh yeah, I was probably in seventh grade. I was it means I probably say that I was in junior high school at the time. Junior high school around, and so I think same. Let me see. I think I was probably my third period or second period in class. I think to where they had I guess talk about it in class. News and how they said that this little hurricane Katrina had affected New Orleans out there, and how people who got killed, lost their home, lost their jobs, lost their everything out there, man. And so I feel like the people got killed out there, man. And how hurricane had affected the whole city out there, man. But so I feel like this type of event happened, back when I was in school, man. And how the hurricane had affected, hit the whole people out there, man. How the people got killed, lost their family members to this hurricane. And yeah, I believe Louisiana. It's some I think that the probably the state of Louisiana is basically above water level. How water level uh I say that I say it can affect homes, businesses, and how the water so I probably say that the water it can destroy the whole place out there, and how the on how I think parts of Louisiana has a war level to where it can destroy homes and businesses out there, and how like parts of like Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, and in Florida, if very much I said very kind of well known as having a war level to where it can affect a lot of businesses out there, how hurricanes can destroy a lot of stuff. But and so I feel like the hurricane I said Trina had 50 people, how the whole city got tore up, man. And how see, I had like read some words to people who had left New Orleans for Texas, for Georgia, I say Alabama, other states. But due to hurricane, how hurricane had affected people out there, man. But I feel like like some, I guess had left New Orleans because it had I guess the I said hurricane affected the house they living in, and so yeah, they had to leave New Orleans, and like some had left New Orleans, some had basically came back to New Orleans. So I feel like the city out there is affected now by the hurricane. So I feel like the whole neighborhood got fixed up, and uh, yeah, I think parts of like I think New Orleans got fixed up, and some left it unfixed, So I guess the hoods look kind of more raggedy now, or like, and so I think third ward, fifth ward look kind of like more raggedy because the whole hurricane had destroyed parts of New Orleans. I say the hoods got destroyed, but so I don't know. I feel like parts of that city got the worst side to it is the damaged parts of it. So I feel like the whole parts of like the city felt like it was unfixed. I guess due to the hurricane, how it had affected a couple of stores, businesses out there at the time, and so I had like I watched some on TV like back a time ago, to where they evacuate people out of the city, and go to the stadium to where they got people who live, I said, without a type of the resources like food, water, everything. They had had to live with nobody. So I feel like people that basically I guess they go to the stadium out there at the time. I give a shelter for water and food, but and so I don't know. I feel like it kind of got. So I feel like it kind of felt bad at time to people who brought guns, weapons to the to the stadium, and how people I don't know got killed over some food out there, man. But and so I think people have moved to Texas out there. Like folks moved to Texas because their city, New Orleans, felt damaged. And so I feel like they moved to that city because it felt more damaged because the whole place felt like it was underwater. But so I don't know. I feel like it's a thing to where that the hurricane. So I probably say that the hurricane Katrina had affected people out there. And how the whole city felt like the city. I see it was underwater and how the people had lost their families to to the hurt Katrina. So I I don't know. I do feel like the whole city is is now it's still fixed now though, but like and so back around I think around 17 years ago, the whole place looked destroyed back then. But and so I feel like this type of thing that I wrote about a long time ago when I was probably in junior high school at the time, 13 years old, man. Yeah, I was in class, heard about it, man. I was, so I feel like the whole place out there felt like it was, I say like it was damaged because of the storm and how the storm had affected the whole city. But so I do feel like this kind of a bad story that I knew about back then, about the Hurricane Katrina and how it affected people, how it had affected businesses, jobs, anything that affected now, due to the whole hurricane. And so I feel like, so I had, I kind of like, I say, yeah. So I say that, I want to do this type of like, backstory of it. So, but so much y'all like, comment, and shout out to peace. I'm out here. Take care and peace.